Before we get back to the show, let me tell you about Bart's Pizza. Bart Basilico reinvented his father's pizzeria business by putting it on wheels. I'm talking a pizza food truck, baby. Bart and his wife Lauren travel all around Metro Detroit, cooking up homemade pies made fresh to order in their 4-layered pizza oven on wheels. You can find them on their website at eatbartspizza.com and Facebook and Instagram as well at Bart's Pizza. His last name is literally Basil, so you know he knows what he's doing. Make sure to grab a cannoli as well while you're there. Bart's Pizza, it's too good.
Yo, I'm Jake Masucci from Jake's Takes. I wanted to talk a little bit about my show on my guy Giovanni's own show. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about Jake's Takes. I'm a student manager at Oakland University, and I kind of just talk all things sports. I talk a lot about the NBA, talk a little college basketball. We did a lot of March Madness stuff recently. We talked about NBA playoffs, NFL playoffs, talked a lot about the NFL draft. It's basically just an all things sports show. I really think you guys would enjoy it. And shout out to my guy Giovanni. Love him. But please check out Jake's Takes. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and then it's also available on its own YouTube channel. So please check out Jake's Takes, but please continue enjoying Giovanni's show.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the GioMoShow interviews. Today, we have a very special guest, a new addition to the Golden Grizzlies men's basketball team, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Tone Hunter on the GioMoShow.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, happy to have you here. So I want to jump right into it. You guys in the basketball team just recently made a trip to Italy.
Yep.
To play a few exhibition games. So tell me, what was the trip like?
It's definitely one I want to say life-changing. Just things you get to see, the things you get to experience as a team. It's unbelievable, seeing some of the stuff, hanging out, just enjoying each other is one, the biggest thing that we wanted to get out of the trip, and I think that went amazing. The basketball part, we're new. Mm-hmm. Everybody's new. We got to learn each other again. You got to build the chemistry off court, personally to me, to build it on the court. I think as each game was going on, you seen that level of chemistry with each other off the court rise on the court. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the fun thing about this group, that we all pretty much get along. You know how sometimes you might have a few groups on your team, or someone might not hang out with the other as much as others on the team. It's not like that. One day I could be with Jack, Blake, and Trey. The next day I could be with DQ, Rocky, and Evan. That's just the dynamic of our team, and that's one of the coolest things to be a part of.
So what were some of the things that you guys did outside of basketball, just in terms of what you guys saw? Obviously, you guys were in Rome, and then you were in, I believe, what was the second stop you guys went? Florence?
Went to Florence.
Florence and then Venice. So what were some of the stuff you guys did off the court?
Walk. I'll tell you that right now. We walked. Coach, if you see this, I'm still sore from all the walking you made me do. No, we walked. We toured a lot of big monuments, churches, and just learned a lot about the history of Italy. And again, that's always fun to see, just being from America, and me specifically being from Las Vegas. You don't really hear or even experience certain things like that in that nature. So that was one unbelievable thing we was doing. Got to tour any major monuments, any church, anything that was pretty much to see. We went to see it. So that was the cool part. We ate a lot.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the food there? Because I got me as a wonderful Italian American family from Sicily. I got my reserves about some of the food, at least up north. What did you think of it?
Culture change. I think once we kind of got used to the menus and knew what to order, and kind of knew how to make it for us. Still, it was good. I'm not a big like red meat person, so I was like that was kind of tough to do because man, y'all love steak out in Italy, but
Love the steak,
yeah, y'all love steak in Italy, but it was like I said, all of it was a good culture change just to go through and see how people live and do stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah. So one last thing. Funny enough, when you guys were there were a lot of days where me and my brothers, we were in Sicily about the same time as you guys, and it was scorching hot over there. So I'm curious, at least being from Nevada, like I would imagine the heat tolerance is a little bit higher for you guys. But like, what did you guys do to handle the heat?
That's a great question.
Because I heard the basketball court you guys were playing on, or the gym wasn't air conditioned.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I give it to my teammates. They were tough. You know, like I said again, some things we've been through is gonna be good for just the season. Little adversities, and playing in that heat is definitely some adversity. And the funny thing is, I was telling some teammates, like, you know, it's hard to play in those type of gyms, you know, and they're kind of laughing, you know how teams are joking and stuff. And I'm from Vegas, and, you know, I played in a couple gyms where the air didn't stop working, you know, so I understand how difficult that was. So like I said, just still bring the level of play and the execution we had going on with some of the adversities we was going through. I give our team a big thumbs up for that, for real. So
for the play on court when you guys were in Italy, I remember I was watching a few of the Grizz visions that Campy would do after some of the games. And he mentioned that there was some difficulty adjusting to the European rules as opposed to some of the American rules, because he mentioned that there's some plays that in America would be legal and actually like a huge part of the game, but they outlaw it in Europe. So how did you guys adjust to that?
I think that was the perfect time for us to slow down. You know, I think overall how we play basketball out here, it's we often speed up, or we often just overthink. So when you overthink, your body kind of just tells you to do stuff when you're really not even trying to do it. So we kept making the same mistake, and once you kept seeing us make the same mistake kind of over and over, now we have to think. Now you might not be able to beat him off the floor, beat him off the dribble fast enough. You might have to pass, you might have to cut, you might have to do something. So like I said, some of those adversities that we were seeing over there, it helps you. You know what I mean? We're not trying to win a championship. We're not trying to win a game today. You know, we're just trying to get better, and better. And as long as we keep getting better, that's the main thing. So I think with the rule change and some of the things that we're getting caught on us, even though we might not get caught on us out here, it still, you know, allows us to just see parts of the games that we probably want to see. You know, like how many people are going to stop Trey this season? I probably bet my money not a lot. You know what I mean? So, and so when you're seeing Trey kind of get frustrated or, you know, play a different way, I felt like when Trey was trying to play outside and they was calling some of those travels, which were iffy, a lot were iffy, most were iffy, it kind of forced them to play in the block more. And people that seen Trey play or know about him, you know, like he's just as dangerous outside, inside. He's a crazy player to see because of how much he can do and how many positions he can change. It kind of forced our shooters to, you know, get the shot up, you know, shoot it when you're open, no extra movements, no nothing. So just little things, natures, that's just going to help us, you know, like I said, in the future. So
now going back to your story, how you got into sports. So kind of give me the tale of tone. Like, what was your sports journey? If you played different sports along the way, and just kind of your path to Oakland.
My dad tried to do baseball. I tried to do football, but I've been playing basketball since I was 5. So I kind of just, I don't know if I was thrown into it or I just simply did. No, I loved it. I loved the sport. I was raised by my father, you know, so it was a lot of times where I was just watching Laker games. You know, I'm 5, 6, 7. I'm not even watching cartoons. I'm watching ESPN. all these different basketball players, and Allen Iverson. I'm watching Carmelo Anthony. I'm watching Kobe, Gilbert Arenas. I'm watching all these different type of basketball players at the time, which I think that kind of era was elite basketball.
Yeah.
I like the basketball players we have in today's basketball, but just some of those players back then, like people like Brandon Roy, like I said, Gilbert Arenas, Baron Davis. Growing up, you have watching some of those people. It was like I want to be like them. So I just always grew up loving the game, watching the game. My family just always supported it. I don't have like the biggest family, but like the family I do have, you would think it was 1,000 of us because they were at every game, they were at every trip, and it looks like, oh my God, Tone got so many people, but these 20, 15 people was really just the only 20, 15 people I got in my family. Like, it's really not that big, but it looks.
They make themselves
they
known.
they make themselves known. And then just as I got older, my mom and my sister and my brother, they're the biggest fans. I don't know if I could say number one fans, but they're the loudest for sure. So
they're on the list.
Yeah, they're definitely in the fight for it. They fight for it every day, it seems. So that support and that love I always got playing basketball just kept me going. And then kind of when I got to 8th, 9th grade, that's when I kind of took basketball serious.
That's where you kind of switched the gears.
Kind of just started thinking, okay, what do you do in basketball? Growing up playing basketball, especially in Vegas, you don't get as much recognition. There's a lot of good players out there, I thought, especially growing up, that could have been considered one of the best in the country or, top players in the country. So you don't really hear about college, especially Division I. You don't hear about NBA. You don't really hear about that growing up.
Yeah.
Especially back then, because it wasn't many people from Vegas that made it to the NBA or doing that. But now it's starting to, as we get older and grows out there, you're starting to see more. But you didn't see that. So 8th, 9th grade, this crazy dude from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna give him a shout out. Lamar Bigby. He hits me on Twitter, and he kind of just sells this unrealistic dream to me. Like, you could be a Division I basketball player. He's if you know Lamar Bigby, he's honest. So you're not good. It's like once you play for him, you're not good. You don't do nothing right. But this guy, I just never knew. He was just selling me this dream, right? And I was always a good basketball player, but I never had anyone necessarily believe in me that could promise those things he was promising me. So I was playing for a team, and I went to my dad, and I was like, I want to change. Like, this dude, he said he could get me to college. My dad kind of just looks at me. He like, who's this dude? Like,
yeah.
You're in 8th grade. So my dad gives him a call, and from there, like, life changed. I played up in the Adidas circuit, and I just went off and running. I got my first offer in 9th grade.
In 9th grade?
In 9th grade, Cal State from Northridge, and I ran around the house. I ran around the house, no kidding, for probably like 15 minutes. I just remember getting a call like, hey, at the time you couldn't. I was in 9th grade, so it wasn't by Coach Lamar. He calls me. He's like, they're gonna give you an offer. They're gonna text me. So he sent that screenshot over. Like, yeah, we want to offer your kid, and man, I just.
You're over the moon.
What? I ran around. I tried. My dad. I think that was probably like the one moment where I'm just messing the house up, and my dad is just letting me, But that was, and then from that moment, I was like, okay, more. I just want more.
So that's when it became real.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, like, not everything I do isn't unnoticed, and coming with that, I didn't know at the time, what you do good, they also see what you do bad. And, I was, my level of play went up, but as the more and more I just kept playing, the more I realized, like your school it has to be important. Your off the court has to be important. The way you handle yourself, like the professional part, I wasn't mature enough yet to really understand. So I'm getting the success of pretty much some like top players. Like I'm not probably visiting the top schools, but I'm talking to a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
I'm at the biggest time when San Diego State was undefeated. I'm visiting. I'm at their campus. I'm visiting it. So there was a lot of learning journeys too that kind of made basketball tough on me because I just thought basketball was the only way. And like I said, growing up in Vegas, you don't get to really see a blueprint how it goes. You know what I mean?
A lot of people fly under
the
radar.
Yeah, it's just under the radar. It's not really big, like do this, do that. There's no one that, and not saying that it won't be in the future, but it's not many kids coming back or grown men or anybody coming back and trying to like teach that to the younger generation. And now, like I said, you're starting to see it as Vegas grows and more people is making it. But you're not seeing. You just wasn't getting that back then. So I'm thinking just basketball is the only success, and I kind of just stopped worrying about everything else. And that's why COVID came and that reality hit me. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there really with no school, and I'm sitting there stressed because I'm like, how do I go to 10, 11, 12 offers to nothing?
Right.
Nothing. And
they pulled the rug from underneath
they pulled it. Just like 2-3 weeks before COVID, I'm visiting, I forgot what school. I'm probably this close to committing. Like, it's between 3 schools. I have a date. Like that was probably one of the toughest things ever. Like, you know what you're about to do, and you literally can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because of COVID. And that's when a whole new journey of just refining myself and bettering myself overall as a person, as a basketball player and a person, because that's when I realized right there, like, basketball could be taken away from you. Like, who's to say tomorrow there's not something else that puts the season on hold or you can't play. So that's when I decided to go to a prep school in California, Meadowbrooks Academy, and really being there, they just focused on my mentality, growing up, not making same mistakes, focusing on school, focusing on myself, my family. And it was tough because they challenged me. Every day they challenged me, my bads. I never had a good day. So that's when I started kind of questioning, okay, is basketball even for me? Like, COVID came, I ain't go to no school. Now prep is, I can't do prep. This is the hardest thing on earth.
There's a lot of doubt coming in.
I'm like, yeah, basketball is not for me. I was just one of those little middle school phenoms for a second, and that was good. That was good enough for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was pretty tough.
It was tough. And then that's when I just get to a point where I came back from prep because it was COVID. So I finally just go back home. And I just remember telling my dad, like, I'm done. I'm not playing basketball no more. Like, this is not for me. I could see the disappointment in my dad's face, but my dad, as I got older, which I give him so much credit for, he lets me be a man. So if that was the decision I wanted to make to not play basketball no more, even though it was going to disappoint him and probably a lot of people in my family, he was willing for me to, like, you got to learn. If this is something you've been doing your whole life and you want to give up on it, that's the decision you got to live with. So, but I didn't care. I didn't care. I'm like, dude, I'm done with basketball. There's no way. Like, it's done. It's over with. I kid you not. I'm sitting there. I haven't probably worked out. I haven't touched a basketball in probably 2 months, 3 months. At JUCO, I'm getting a bunch of JUCO calls. I'm getting, but
Yeah, but going from, I'm sure, like calls from Division I schools and now you're going down to JUCO, it's not as exciting.
First 2 months, I'm telling people that's trying to help me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to JUCO. Like, basketball is just not for me. Like, I'm just starting to just hit that wall. I felt like, and I don't know, necessarily the time period. I just end up getting a call from Lamar. And
here he comes again.
Yeah, here he comes again. And he's like, you have a workout tomorrow. I'm like,
says who?
Like, what are you talking about? I haven't worked out in 3 months. Like, he's just tells me like, this is just JUCO from Kansas wants to see you. Like, he's selling me on the school. The school is Garden City.
Yeah.
This is where we're gonna start seeing things roll in. But so he's like, yeah, you have a workout tomorrow. He's coming. He's flying in. He's coming to see you. He said he needs a point guard. I told him that you're a Division I point guard. So again, this guy that I do nothing good, he has the most faith in me in the world. So I go up to our gym, Tarkanian, my other coach that I worked with since I've been in the program. His name's Denard Taylor. Really great trainer, really good guy. Like, he's like a big brother to me. He kind of is the one that kind of taught me and got me through a lot of this too. So we're working out. I kid you not, my workout is bad.
Oh yeah, well I'm sure after 3 months.
It is. I'm tired. Coach Denard is trying to like give me little breaks, but not trying to like make it be known. He's trying to like talk to me.
Doesn't want to make it look bad.
Yeah, he's trying to like talk to me like, hey, we're gonna come off the pick and roll. Like, he never does that. He just tells me what to do, and I just do it. But now he's trying to like come talk to me and show me. And, like, he never does that. So, but this coach, he's looking at me and he's like, I want you. I'm like, I kind of look at my dad like he wants me. Like, this workout was bad. Like, I couldn't make shots. I'm tired. I'm at a point where like I don't even want to work out no more. I'm like, I'm tired.
Right. It's such a drop off, I'm sure, from what you're used to, and that's a tough thing to accept.
I am tired. I'm like, yo, I'm done. Like, I can't. This dude's not gonna sign me. And Coach Go, Garden City, he said sign the paper, and so I signed the paper. Let me tell you right now, I don't know if anybody knows about Garden City, Kansas, and that the western hemisphere of that Kansas, but it's a tough place to go.
Oh yeah.
And again, when I first got there, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing a whole school year. I'm living in Kansas, and at the time I just had a son, So I'm like, oh yeah, no. There's no way.
Like that'd be such a huge shift.
Yeah, I'm like, at this time, 3 months in, I haven't played basketball. I have a son at home. At the time, his mother was in school, so I'm just like, really at that time, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the worst decision on earth. Yeah, this is the worst decision.
There's no green flags here.
There's nothing. Like I'm saying, like, there's just so much on my side where it's just keeping me from basketball at this point. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing here? And I kid you not, when I went to the break, well, we had our little workouts in July, and we went back home and came back. Everybody expected me to be like, I'm not going back. I hopped back on the plane. I told them I made a promise to everybody, like, I'm not going to give up. It was something about just that, even though I hate it, and I hate using the word hate it, and I hated every minute of that workout in the summer.
Geez.
It was tough. I mean, we was waking up 4 or 5 in the morning.
No way.
Every single day, and we were going from 5:30 to 8 at night.
Dude.
8 at night. And again, I'm like, there's no way I'm doing it. But when I got back, I'm like, it was just something about getting back in shape. I thought it was the process of working on my game again, recreated my game. I was so in love with though. Like, it gave me a new spark for basketball. I felt like I just touched the basketball game.
That progress was intoxicating.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I told everybody, I was like I could do this. Like, at first I was the only one doubting myself. Everyone else around me was like, we know, like we've been doing it since you were 5, and I'm like, no, like you don't understand. You know,
Right.
like I could do this. Like I could play. I ended up having an incredible year in Garden City, freshman of the year. You know, all team my first year. You know, winning 2 National Players of the Week.
All right.
Getting offers from schools I didn't think I would even talk to. You know, ended up being a really, really good experience for me. And even then, during the season, I hit a bump in the road, but I didn't let it really bother me, and that's how I ended up getting first team by Oakland, and then I ended up picking Long Beach.
Right.
It was between Long Beach and Oakland, and that's where I ended up picking Long Beach State, and I was not only solely because it was in the West Coast and I wanted to get back to the West Coast really bad, but just at the time it felt right. You know, me and Jalen are really, you know, cool people off the court. So honestly, I just knew this was Jalen's school, and that's just the respect I have for Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I look back at it, I wish I could have either played or played behind him just to, you know, just to learn some of the things he learned being here and seeing him play under camp.
Yeah.
But you know, I still got the experience at Long Beach, and I'm grateful for that. I'm happy with the decision I made, but part of me wish I was able to got to play with Jalen probably last year. I think that probably would have been a cool little backcourt too.
Yeah,
I
think so.
If we played together, but I just really had so much respect for Jalen and what he had done here. I kind of just didn't, you know, want to come in and like shake it up or have the ball out his hands because you know what he does with the ball is special too. So so I just, you know, try to go my own route, my own way. But, you know, I landed up being here, you know.
Yeah, you ended up coming around anyway.
Yeah, ended up coming around. So that was really cool for me when I committed and got here. Jalen was one of the first people I talked to as far as, you know, I texted him, you know, he told me he was excited. You know, I almost had to check and see if he had another year or something. I'm like, dang, like how excited he was for me. Really made me really excited to come to Oakland. So that was one of the best feelings probably I had in basketball for a while. Yeah. Just, you know, because, you know, you meet so many people, you know, you have so many relationships where you just kind of forget and you don't really talk to people. I really felt like me and Jalen have a real, like, he still tries to help. You know, he went overseas. Shout out to Jalen, man. But
shout out, got him a pro contract.
Yeah. Shout out to Jalen. But you know, he, like I say, he's open arms, man. I could text him, ask questions. I could have a conversation with him if I need to. So for me, that's just like big, cause
that's a big resource. Yeah.
You know, like just nowadays, people. They're not really willing to help, especially coming like a point guard coming in that's filling in your spot, taking the light away from him. He didn't look at it like that. He's looking at it like keep it going, do better than what I did. And man, that's for him to show love and appreciation like that. I just want to. We get a ring this year.
Oh yeah.
We got to get him a ring. Man. Yeah. We got to get Jalen Moore a ring.
Gotta send him one in the mail.
Yeah, we got to get Jalen Moore a ring. No matter how we do it, how we gotta get that kid a ring, man. Gotta get him a ring.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it was my understanding, just from the chronology of it, knowing that you were at Long Beach State last year and now here at Oakland. It was my understanding that when you guys played in the Bahamas in the Nassau Championship, my guess was that Campy was kind of recruiting you, talking to you after the game from there, and that brought you to Oakland. But it sounds like Oakland was on the radar even before Long Beach State.
Yeah, they were on the radar at Garden City, and like I said, kind of just wanted to get back to the West Coast was the factor.
Yeah, but wanted to be closer to home.
Yeah, I wanted to be closer to home to my son. But nah, when we played in the Bahamas, I'm gonna be honest, Cam didn't talk to me.
No.
He wasn't messing with me, and I still mess with the guys and tell them one thing I got over y'all. I'm 1-0. And I love Oakland. I love the people here, but hey, I'm 1-0.
Yeah, you had 7 assists, 6 steals in that game.
Yeah, that was the game that kind of got me on the floor. So thank you, Oakland. No, but yeah, that's just a little locker room joke now. It's just, I tell them, hey, I wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm 1-0. Trey
1-0's awake now.
Yeah. Trey kind of gets mad at me, but man, shout out to the guys. I love them. It's funny that you said that, but yeah, Cam didn't talk to me. Cam wasn't messing with me, but you know, we're here.
We're here.
We're here.
So now that you are here, what do you think has been the biggest adjustment coming to Campy's team and kind of working in his system? What do you think is the biggest difference between Campy and other programs you've been a part of?
Camp expects perfection, excellence, and a level of play that usually you never ever get close to, but as long as you try to get there, you'll be kind of satisfied. And I've heard of coaches like that. You see little documentary of some of these coaches that are like that, are just so basketball insane that you don't really understand it unless you're in it. And that's what Camp got. He has this expectations for his teams. He has a vision, and you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know, no matter if he has to drill it into you, he has to yell, he has to sit down for 5 hours and watch film with you, you're gonna do that. And man, I appreciate, like, again, I like the work, I like the process, you know what I mean? Because that's how I got here. So I'm not saying that where I came from wasn't like that, but it was the fact that we're pushed to that level every single time we step on that court, you know?
Yeah, I believe it's the old Vince Lombardi quote that I'm going to not get correct, but it's to chase perfection and you'll find greatness along the way.
Yeah, that's probably the perfect way to explain Camp's mentality as far as how he approaches the game. And I love being around him because he has a very good eye for the game.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, he's got enough years of watching it.
Yeah, for sure. But you'll often find yourself a lot of times with a coach that you kind of just can't, the connection is just not there, you know? Yeah. And that's just people and personality. But I honestly can't find a basketball player that wouldn't be able to kind of connect with Camp because just of his knowledge. Man, the dude is he's a magical dude with that board in his hand. He could draw up a play in 2 seconds, and it's gonna be there. Yeah. So,
and I've seen it on the sideline. He would yell, "Where's the whiteboard?" And then doodles it, and then it's done.
It's magical, and it's so funny because I'll mess with him like, we run all these plays you got for us just for you to call a timeout and make another play. But that's just how special he is. Special of a coach he is. He's amazing. I love being around him, and I'm glad I got 2 years to play for him. So that's definitely, I'm excited to play with Oakland, my teammates, and especially for Camp.
Yeah, we're excited to be covering you here on WXOU. You might see me and a couple other of us right behind Campy on the sideline. And sometimes the microphones catch some of the banter on the sideline a little bit. So.
Yeah. That's one thing you gotta keep away from him. You gotta keep the microphone away from him, and you never know what you're gonna get from him.
Yeah, I've interviewed him after some good and bad games. He'll come in with his hair like all fired up, but he keeps it professional near me.
All
but
the time.
It's an intense.
He's
intense
a professional, moment. And he could yell at you. he could do everything in the world. Once he gets in that mode, though, he's like, man, can't. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Yes.
And it was wonderful to hear from you, Tone. We're gonna wrap it up here
Okay.
on the JoMo Show. I guess I'll give you the floor for this one moment here. Everybody now watching who's listened and heard your fantastic story, the tale of Tone, tell them why they should go to the arena and why should they watch you and the Golden Grizzlies this year. Why should they go to the arena?
I'm bringing my heart to the game. I play with that. You could go look at all my old videos. You could do your homework on me. That's what I do. I play with my heart. I play with so much passion, and I play to win. So I'm gonna bring that kind of intensity. I'm gonna bring that vibe here. That not saying that other players didn't really bring here before, but I just think that that's just my special talent and my special thing that I just have to this game. I just bring life, a different type of life to it, just because of how much I love this game. And you see that playing, you see my story, you kind of feel it, how I just won't give up, how much I want to win. I'm just that passionate about the game. So I think that's one thing that people are going to see coming and watch us play. And I think that secondly, I think we have a very, very, very special group. And I don't think people are going to want to miss it. And I think don't be late, don't be late to believe in us. I think this is the year where we make a big change for this program back to the right direction. And I'm not saying that I'm going to do it. I'm not saying that just Trey's going to do it. It's going to be a collective group. And we all vowed early that that's what we're going to give y'all. And we don't want to sell nothing less for that. So hopefully, I'm not going to say hopefully, in due time, you will see a championship team. You will see a March Madness team. So that's what we're giving y'all this year.
And that's what to look forward to for the Golden Grizzlies. You can hear all Oakland University basketball games, men's and women's, right here on WXOU. And you can find the season schedule of all the games on GoldenGrizzlies.com to stay up to date. And to stay up to date with WXOU, you can follow us on Instagram. And as for the JoMo Show, you can listen to me live Thursdays at 6 o'clock on WXOU or at any time on YouTube and Spotify. Tone Hunter, thank you very much for coming on to the JoMo Show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next week, Thursday at 6 on WXOU.